Hello everyone, today I will talk about my part of trip to Sweden where I walked through Denmark. So let's get started. First of all, I arrived to a village, or yeah, it was like a port village called Rødbyhavn, and from there I headed north. And already along the way I could see a huge difference from Germany, and one of them was these decorations they had laying around, like this giant anchor, or maybe this traditional art that was by the entrance to one of the next villages. And even the architecture was a little bit different. It looked more traditional, really different, like just as you see on the pictures. These brick walls and really different designs. But the country itself also looked very different. There were these many really open spaces and plains, and not really that many trees. So I had trouble finding places where I would actually sleep in my tent. So I was actually lucky every time I managed to find something, but I didn't really have to stay out so much, so that was good. But anyways, these open spaces, these plains that just felt really epic because you had really distant horizon, and you would have this road that would follow there that you would follow, and there was this really this sky looming over me because in this season there were quite many clouds, so it was very atmospheric. And of course, because Denmark is a more or less a marine country, then I saw a lot of marinas with boats. It was really often that I saw them. But the most epic to me was when I was crossing this 3 kilometers long bridge, and I was right in the middle of it. And then I looked to both sides, and I just saw water, and that was a really unknown feeling to me, even at that point, even if I lived in Sweden before, and I lived actually close to the Botnia Bay, but this just felt different. And speaking of epic, I also loved the mornings. This one time, I actually walked up on this little hill, and I saw the sun rising up, and there was this mist in the distance, and everything was kind of yellow. Yeah, these pictures, they can't really do it justice. It's just something that you really have to live and like feel it. And after I crossed this bridge, I I came to a small town called Vordingborg, and I was actually looking for a how to stay there. And so I first went to a local church to see if somebody could help me out, if I could maybe like wash my stuff or whatever. And there was this older lady, and she actually helped me out. She said that there was like this little bathroom I could use, and then she gave me some food. And she also said that if I wanted to, I could stay with her and her husband for maybe a day or two. So that was really, a really happy coincidence. And so, of course, I did. And I explored the city. I looked at the historical sites. I looked at the local marina, which was beautiful. And, they even taught me a little bit of Danish. So that was also fun. And after this, I headed north, going to continuing my way to Copenhagen. And I actually didn't have to walk along the road for cars. There was this kind of like a path, like a sidewalk, so it was very comfortable. But the character of the country didn't really change so much until I arrived to a little town called Kø. It was spelled like Koge, and from there it was actually on the very edge of Copenhagen. So once I started going from there to the center, then first of all I had this sea on my right side the whole time, and also these uh, these living houses starting appearing more and more until I actually reached the center of the city. And I met up with my friends. They were actually friends of people that I met in Hamburg. So I stayed with one of them for over one night, and then the next night I stayed at this guy who was actually a priest. He was a priest in the International Baptist Church, and he lived with his wife, who was American. in this really large house, and together they had 5 sons. And it was pretty amazing because, like being able to raise 5 children, I mean, that must be a really, really crazy hard. And they were doing pretty good actually. Both they were all studying, universities and doing some sports and stuff. And I met some of them, so it was very interesting to see a household like that. And of course, I hung out with my friends in the city, so we went for some coffee and hang out by the river. If you saw my video from Denmark when I was in Copenhagen, then you pretty much know what the city is all about. I saw these historical buildings and the port with these really large ships. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. And after that, I wanted to actually go to Malmö across the Öresund bridge, but it was actually forbidden to walk on it, so I had to go north. So I walked along the coast from Copenhagen all the way to Helsingør, which was the port. And along this way, it really felt like I was maybe in some Mediterranean area. Like, you had these marinas and these really nice houses and this beautiful road, and it just felt amazing. And I even saw these brown, hairy cows, which I've never seen before in my life. Because in Czech Republic we have totally different cows, but as you can see, uh, it's kind of funny to see them live in person. And after that, when I arrived to Helsingør, there was this really beautiful historical looking train station, which was also the port for the boat. So from there I boarded the boat and just sailed all the way to Sweden. And that was my trip through Denmark. So thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. Bye bye.